Good evening, welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well wherever watching me from around the world on this Wednesday. So today the President of Kenya, President William Samoei Ruto, named his new full cabinet, after I had fired the previous cabinet. So the genesis was that the young people in Kenya who are below 30 majority, they are called the Gen Zs, had a major demonstration in Kenya whereby they were rejecting, it was against the finance bill 2024 that was supposed to raise taxes on everything that you can imagine under the sun, from sanitary towels to data bundles, you name it. So these young men and women went into the streets to demonstrate. And they demonstrated very hard until the finance bill 2024 was thrown out of parliament, and the government, the president fired his whole cabinet. And he fired it after they decided to storm parliament, the Gen Zs, or the people were demonstrating. So people were expecting him to come up with a very young cabinet, new people, you name it. But that did not happen. What happened? The president fired half his cabinet and brought back half of it, which in my view is a big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Because I'm sure the Kenyan Gen Zs, some of them are feeling deflated, discouraged. But me as a Gen X, someone who's aged above 40, I'm telling you, the road to revolution, changing the country, takes a long time. You cannot believe that in this country, we could not even criticize the president or even imagine anything about the president. That was treason. But that took time. Even in my lifetime, I never believed that I'll see the day people would make fun of the president and demonstrate. When I was growing up, when you demonstrated, it was just direct imprisonment. So now we have a new constitution, and the Kenyan Gen Zs have opened our minds, especially as the older folks. That's a big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs. We have opened people's minds on the constitution in terms of picketing, demonstration of your rights, demonstration for a better country, voicing your views on the streets, on social media. That's a big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Another big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs, it forced the president's hand to fire his cabinet, something that could not have been imagined. You know, in Africa, once someone is a president, he's like a mini god. He cannot be questioned, he knows everything. So he forced his hand. Although he has returned half of them, but it shows that you are people who see far. You have brought great, You have ensured that people in the country are aware of what's going on. Like I was walking, how can I put it? I was walking on the road, and one of my friends is a real hustler. He makes things on the roads. He maintains it. Just digs. This road, the people dig the roads and all that, the trenches, what have you, it's called what? Who dig the trenches, repair roads. They call them mutar road trenches. Yeah, they build the trenches, how the water passes. The drainage, yeah, the word is drainage. Who do these drainage systems on roads? He stopped me and then he talked to me about the Gen Zs. This is a guy who's never on social media. Even my barber or kinyozi, they say kinyozi. These are the real hustlers. The person who sells me meat, the butcherman, my border rider. They're talking about the Gen Z. These guys were never even on social media, but they're listening to you young people. So that's another big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs. You have sensitized the people about the constitution and what's going on in the country. So most people are in politics. Another win for the Kenyan Gen Zs, you have highlighted the major issues in Kenya. The issues of high school fees in our schools and also universities. That's why people are now talking of free education. Free education will be a reality in Kenya soon, as long as we keep on pressing. Free IDs, the issue of identity cards. You see, these ID in Kenya to operate. You cannot even join a university or college without an ID. You cannot get even a driving license without having an ID. So I've opened people on such issues. So the issue of IDs is a major issue. Passports, application, all these things are in the public sphere. So this is a big win for Kenyan Gen Zs. But the biggest win for Kenyan Gen Zs, you have brought the issue of accountability in the forefront. There will be no, after the next election, I don't think there will be any cabinet secretary or even civil servant who will be appointed into government and he has a bad track record. They are corrupt or they have done bad things. It will be very hard. You are rewriting the constitution of Kenya as we see. They say the revolution will be televised. That's true. Of open people. So the issues of accountability, the issues of honesty, the issues of integrity, the issues of anti-corruption will be in the forefront in the next election. Now, that's a big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Another big win for Kenyan Gen Zs, even if they try to suppress you getting IDs or registering for the IBC, remember there are over 20 million Kenyans registered. So that means that you, at your family level, can influence your uncles, your cousins, your parents who are my age and above to vote right. And that will happen. So the next government, I don't think these people who are corrupt will have a way. Lastly, the biggest win, another big win for the Kenyan Gen Zs is tribalism. Me, when I was growing up, tribalism has been a major scourge in Kenya. So that you cannot even elect good leaders because anytime you have an election, our so-called leaders who turn into metamorphosis into tribal kings, tribal warlords. So that now this tribe A versus tribe B, C, D, and all that, you have cleared that. Now this tribalism in Kenya is not a factor. Anyone going forward to stand for president will have to sell his ideology and his policies. So let's put it this way. 2027 going forward in Kenya, any election held will be about policy. And lastly, tied to tribalism to be corruption. Anyone who is corrupt will not be able to buy the electorate. People eat your money, your 1,000 shillings, your 100 shillings, your 200 shillings, but they'll vote the right candidate. So let's learn to tell the Kenyan Gen Zs, that's a big win for you. Tribalism, corruption, constitution, awareness, civic education. In fact, all this has been one big civic education. It's a big win for Kenyan Gen Zs. And lastly, you have also made the Twitter space. You have created your own space that you didn't have when you were growing up. You didn't have a way of communicating with each other. So this is my advice to the Kenyan Gen Zs as an older brother, a Gen X who has been in this country and seen how the country has changed over time. Use those spaces in your neighborhood, at county level, national level, because these days, because of the digital world, you can reach anyone and use it to pressurize your issues, to ensure that the government votes right on issues, the government implements good policies, and the government puts the needs of its citizens at the forefront. And with that, the Kenyan Gen Zs, I salute you. So this is the Professor Maima Show. If you liked what I've said on this channel, please send something on the mobile M-Pesa written down there. So it's +254 769 729 327. And repeat again, mobile M-Pesa +254 769 729 327. And as I always say, kwaheri ya kuonana, kwaheri.